car dealer lied to me. Surprise, surprise. This car is amazing, but it is not what I thought I was getting when it showed up. I was completely lied to, and I'm gonna have to bring this car back to life and do some serious work to get it sellable for me that I wasn't expecting to do. So today's video is all about what happened with this car, why it was so grossly misrepresented, what I'm gonna do about it to bring it back to life and make it ready for sale. Let's get going. So hey everyone, my name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Welcome to my Flying Wheels YouTube channel. This right here is a 2011 Cadillac CTSV. It's an absolute animal. It's the best of almost every world. It's a fun car, it's a fast car, it's a luxurious car. This is a car I can take my wife out on a date in. It's classy and I can take it to the track the next day. That's what makes this car so special. Now a few weeks ago I drove to Connecticut with my father to go pick up a GT500. And I just got in the supercharged mood and I was scrolling along one of my dealer apps and I came across this car. My new toy showed up today. Check this thing out. Yes, that's not just a CTS. That is a CTS-V. Here it is. This is basically a supercar with 4 seats, Z06 Corvette that you can take your wife out comfortably in. This is a race car that's also classy. 6.2 liter supercharged V8, 555 horsepower. Whoa. All right, show me how fast this thing gets to quote unquote 100. My head is whipped back in the seat in this car. Oh my goodness. Looking at how streamlined it is, it truly is a muscle car. It even has a muscle car look. Look at the rear end. The dual exhaust is incredible coming out the center. I mean, everything is just sharp and jagged. Oh, do that again, German. And that's the stock exhaust. This thing needs a rumble. I feel like we should do the exhaust. But you can see some of the wheels are curbed up, so we're gonna be taking care of that. And then let's see if the switch opens up. Oh my goodness, my hands are so cold. So it has the dual suede Recaro seats, filthy seats. So we're gonna, oh yuck. So these, just like the BMWs do, this does this, that's gross. The car's pretty dirty. And then you can even see down here, now is this suede or leather? What is this stuff? Cowhide? I don't know what it is, but it's pretty neat looking. And it's filthy. So German really has his hands full. That front bumper, what do you want to do with it?
I'm thinking of taking it off. The piece is still there behind the tape. Yeah. So I'm thinking if we glue it and then kind of like...
What is it, just cracked?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll epoxy it, put some fiberglass on the back side, and then prep it and paint it. But you can even see it has heated seats, air-conditioned seats, pop-up navigation. Is this a Bulova clock? The Escalades have a Bulova clock in the center. This is not. How many miles? I think it has 88,000. Let's see how this seat comes forward. I can't even feel anything because it's so cold out. But I love that it has back seats so I can put my kids in it. And my oldest son actually does appreciate this car. He knows how amazing this thing is, and he knows that I've been looking for one for a long time. Look at these brakes, front brake rotors. Hood's popped. Whoa. All right, give it some gas. Oh, I love that whine. Oh, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. All right, I gotta go inside. My hands are freaking cold. German, this is your project. You gonna take this on?
Yes, sir.
All right, you just finished the Trailblazer SS. Now it's onto the CTSV. At least we get some cool stuff in here from time to time. Let's get started with the project. Oh, we have a headlight out too. These running lights, you never know are out because watch, as soon as he puts it in park, it shuts off. Or as soon as the lights turn on, they shut off. So these running lights, which are center lights, same thing with the Chevy Silverados and the Escalades do that as well. Keep coming forward. They keep coming. So now you'll see they're off. But as soon as in certain situations they come on and one's out, but when we do state inspections, when it's in the building, those lights don't come on. So you don't know they're out until at some point, whether the car's in drive or in park. I don't know when they work, but it happens on all the Chevy trucks, Escalades, Suburbans, and apparently these as well. Now I buy a lot of cars online. There are actually dealer auction apps. One of them's called ACV. I use it all the time. And 99 out of 100 times, I pretty much get what I expected to get. In this case, the dealer lied to me. Surprise, surprise. Well, there's a lot more to it than that. When I buy cars on ACV, they're extremely thorough. We're talking 60 plus photos on the engine and record it so I get to listen to the sound of the engine. There's a full description. They do tread depth and any imperfections they take photos of. This is how the auction works. It's basically cars run all day long for 20-minute auctions, and all the dealers on the website can bid on whatever they want. There's a full description, full disclosure, and lots of photos for us to check out. Now, if we go to my ACV, I can go to what I purchased, and here's the Cadillac. So me as a purchaser, if I buy a car from ACV and it wasn't what I was told I was buying, ACV will cover it for me. So for example, I bought cars that didn't have catalytic converters and that wasn't announced. I called them up. Guess what? They mailed me a check that day for the catalytic converters. I've had issues where the windshield was cracked and they didn't announce it. I got a check that day for the windshield that was cracked. If it's something that wasn't announced, I can arbitrate it and they cover it. It's really, really great. Now, before I get going on this car, if you're a dealer and you're not yet using ACV, there's a discount code down below in my description for $300 off your first buy fee. So if you buy a car, they'll give you a $300 auction credit in buy fees. So click the link down below if you want to try ACV. You can basically buy your first car for free with the code down in the description, so go check it out. Now, I use them all the time, so this video isn't bad about ACV because I love them. This video is about the dealer that lied to me and how it happened and how we're going to bring this Cadillac back to life. This car has a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 with 556 horsepower and 551 foot-pounds of torque. That is an insane amount of power in a 4,500-pound car. Now, it's 1,000 pounds heavier than the Corvette, but it's not made out of fiberglass. It's actually a competitor to the Camaro ZL1. So the Camaro ZL1 came out in 2012. This came out in 2011. They're almost the exact same weight, and they both have 4 seats. It does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat, quarter mile in 12.3 seconds at 126. Now, like I said, the Camaro and this are direct descendants to each other. The Camaro ZL1 is the fastest production Camaro ever created, and this is its exact replica, just a lot nicer. So this is a 2011. It's actually faster and has more power than the 2011 Corvette Z06. It shares the same GM Corvette magnetic ride control, or MagneRide, that the Corvette has, so the handling is unreal. Now, I called it a supercar, and everybody blasted me because it's not a supercar. Its direct competitors are the Audi RS5, the BMW M5. It actually debuted at the Goodwood Supercar Festival of Speed in Britain. So it debuted with supercars. Now, what makes this car so amazing is not just the looks, it's not just the engine, it's the magnetic ride control suspension that makes this car handle so incredibly well, but it's also the Brembo brake system. Look at the size of those calipers and rotors. The entire car is meant to be a luxurious race car, which is what makes this so amazing. Okay, so enough talking. I know I talk a lot, I can't help myself, but let's start it up and go for a rip. Okay, so the sunroof is electronic, so we can close this. Now, I am not a tall man, and my head is almost touching the top. Oh, the seat actually goes down significantly, so it's an electronic seat that goes down. There are a lot of blind spots. It being a coupe and it has a massive back area, there isn't a lot to look out. I have this headrest and then that big black area that kind of gives me a blind spot so I can't see for any oncoming traffic. Mirror point of views are perfect though. All right, let's go for a rip. What's great about this car is the options. The heated seats, the vented seats, the magnetic ride control is right here. So when I hit this, we can turn suspension mode to sport, tour. The navigation can go up and down. And the seats are legit race car seats. I am so sucked into these. I feel like I am being hugged by a bear. All right, I'm gonna keep the traction control on because I don't feel like losing control and whipping into a telephone pole. But let's go have some fun. What I love is how the red matches the speedometer. So as fast as you're going, that red line follows the speedometer needle. So I want to show you something kind of cool about the Cadillac CTSV, also the Corvettes. So this car has an electric switch to open the doors. So you'll see it doesn't actually have a door handle. Basically just a button that you squeeze and it releases the latch electronically. It also has one right here on the inside. For some reason, they're not working. So what happens if either the battery dies or they're not working and you're in the car? Well, I'm going to show you. For safety precautions, so you don't get stuck in your car, they have a manual door latch by your left leg. The only question is, what happens if the battery dies and you're on the outside of the car? So I did a video on this Cadillac CTSV the other day, because let me show you why. There are no door handles, so when the battery's dead, the electronic door handle doesn't operate. Well, along with having no door handle, you'll see there's also no keyhole. So you guys taught me how to do it when the battery's dead. Check this out. When you go to the trunk, there's a little keyhole right there. So the key's hidden inside the key fob. We unlock it from the trunk, and once the trunk's open, you'll see this little lever right here. Pull the lever, and voila, your door is open. Then he didn't mention anything about the door not opening. The tires were flat, the rims with the curbing, none of that stuff was listed. So I thought I was buying a mint CTSV.
So once we, like if we get the tire off and we could get behind this and try to just push on this, because the paint's intact. It's just a little bit of like paint from the other vehicle that could come off.
Right, yeah, there's no paint damage. Yeah, all right, so you're our dent wizard. And then over here, Sean, I'm gonna have you fix this. That's cracked, but it's all there at least. It's not missing pieces. So if you can repair this, this, and this, and we'll paint at this line down and have German blend it when we're finished. Otherwise, the buff is coming out really, really nice. So now we get to see this mess with the tape off. So you zip tied it, drilled some holes, zip tied it so you could plastic weld it.
Yep.
And then after you plastic weld it, we're gonna sand it down, prep it for paint. Obviously do the body work to it to smooth it out. Okay. CTSV is almost finished. Coming around to this side, this had a pretty good crack all right here. So we reinforced it with some plastic behind and plastic welded everything back here. So everything is attached, because if we had just put some Bondo or something, as soon as you tap, this is gonna crack, especially in the cold. So you have to reinforce it from behind. Then we can fill it with some fiberglass and body filler.
Two hours later.
Oh man, after all that work, this fish-eyed like a mother. Look at that. Can you guys see this in the video? Bummer. Now, can we wet sand it? That's up to German now. Can he wet sand and buff that? We'll find out. Love it. Come back from the auction to this. This makes me so happy. Now, German painted the front bumper, and we had some issues with the front bumper fish-eyeing. So he had to sand the entire thing down and respray it. Here is the finished product painted. Now it needs to be wet sanded and buffed. We've had it sitting for about a week, so the paint has had time to harden. So that is gonna get wet sanded and buffed tomorrow. German, I'm taking off. These two are the clips for the door on the CTS, okay? The buttons. So one's for the interior, one's for the exterior. All right, thanks. I'm leaving. I'll see you later. So this spot on the door, I don't know what happened. It must have just been somebody's elbow right here that was rubbing off all of this leather on the edge. So right here was pretty rough. So I just scraped a razor blade along right here to kind of break all the leather up. And then I took some blue painter's tape and taped the stitching line right here. I also keep all of my old dealer plates, the plastic plates like this that go in the front of the cars. I tape the holes and I put it right here. So now I have it taped here and I have the plate here so I don't get any overspray. And then I take a textured coating and I just spritz it on. So I kind of just feather it on, and then I take a brush and I just dab it like this. So I obviously cleaned this thoroughly, and now I'm just gonna spritz it on. I don't wanna get a lot on. It's textured already. And now that it's on there, this is my third coat. I'm gonna take my brush and I'm just gonna dab the texture. So you can see it's already textured, and dabbing it creates a whole new texture to match with the vinyl. That's how I'm gonna repair that without actually having to replace it. And on top of that, I did this as well. So this was kind of peeling off. So what I did was I put some epoxy on the inside. Here's the door handle. You can see we use blue painter's tape because it comes off easy and it doesn't leave any residue on anything. So I'm just gonna peel this off, and then on the inside, it'll be stuck together. And there's the finished product. Perfect. I didn't even have to clean it. No residue or anything. The tape came right off, no problem. There we go, right there. Yes! So with ACV auctions, they hire their own independent inspectors, their own independent appraisers, and they are crazy, crazy thorough. Here's what it looks like. There's full descriptions. They can do a green light, a red light. They even give you transportation costs to ship it directly to your dealer, and they organize it themselves. They do previous paint work. They give you tire tread depth. Everything you can think of when purchasing a car that you want to see will be on here because you're buying it sight unseen. And if I have an issue, all I have to do is arbitrate it and they'll cover it. So now as a seller, you might be thinking, well, geez, does the seller have to pay for that? That can get really costly. No. If I have ACV's appraisers come out to me, they protect me because ACV's auctioneer, they come appraise the car, they assess the damages, they make a full description. So it's not my fault if they miss something, which is great as a seller. Now here's how it works. You have an arbitration period. Within 10 days after purchase, I can have this car inspected at my shop. I can take it to a dealer and have them go through it. If there's anything wrong with it, I have 10 days to do an arbitration and claim whatever's wrong that wasn't announced. So it's really beneficial as a buyer. What I didn't realize is that selling dealers can appraise and photograph their photos themselves too. I didn't realize that. It's a learning lesson. I am going to take full blame on this because I had 10 days and I didn't do it. I waited till the 11th day. It showed up on day 8. I waited till day 11 to really go through it. I should have not taken my time. I should have put it right up on the lift and gone through the entire car. Well, I didn't do that. It's my fault. It was too late to arbitrate it, so now I just have to suck it up and pay for all the expenses myself. But like I said, if ACV's appraiser comes out and does the appraiser and there's something wrong, ACV covers it. If I do the appraisal myself, I sell my own car and I photograph and I make the description and it gets sent out to the buyer and then there's a problem, ACV holds me liable. And then I have to pay for those costs. So that keeps me honest. I want to represent everything because I don't want that coming back on me later on and then me having to pay for those expenses. So that's a great way to keep the dealers honest. So it actually works both ways in the buyer's favor. Now this one, because I waited till day 11, 100% my fault. I should have taken advantage of the arbitration policy and have this dealer eat all of it. They're gonna look bad on me and say, oh, this guy's always arbitrating cars. So I kind of just let it go. Then I found out it was the dealer that did the appraisal. Now the photographs were from really far away in a dark, shadowy area, so I didn't see any of the damage here. If you look at the photographs, everything's kind of far away. There's nothing close up. So I didn't even think twice when purchasing it because I've never purchased from a dealer's description. I always purchased from the appraiser's description. And this one wasn't quite as thorough. And you can even see here in description, right here is usually the appraiser's or the inspector's name. Here's our finished product. The car came out beautiful. We did a lot of work to it. We ended up repairing the entire front bumper, repainting it, reinstalling it. We cleaned all the leather and the suede. The car looks as mint as it can possibly be. And we took care of a lot of other miscellaneous items that weren't disclosed in the descriptions. I also had to buy the electronic door switch for the exterior and interior of the doors because for some reason it wasn't disclosed that the car doors do not open. There were a few other mechanical issues that we had to take care of as well. So now the car is awesome. It just took a little bit more work than we had actually anticipated. So the car is finished. It's beautiful. Look at this thing. It is so gorgeous. This car is a nasty piece of machinery. I am so pumped about this. And my favorite part is this interior. I absolutely love the suede, leather, Recaros, and just everything about this car. It's like a perfect combination of luxury and muscle car. And that's what makes this car so special. Now it is up for sale on my website at www.flying-wheels.com. I have 2 of them for sale, but this one was the first that was finished. I've done everything I'm gonna do for it. These things are worth a crazy amount of money. They started making the coupes in 2011, so this is the first year of the coupes. 2015 was the last of this generation, and I have a 15 as well with 39,000 miles. That's even nicer than this one. They came out with the wagon in 2012, which is super rare, and they were worth an insane amount of money. So if you can find a wagon, especially in a 6-speed, grab it, hang on to it, because they're only going up in value. Same with the coupes. The 4-doors aren't as desirable because it's more of a sedan than it is a coupe and a sports car, but those are still fun to drive. This and the wagon are where it's at. So the car is finished. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I wasn't expecting to put so much time and effort into this thing, but it's been an absolute blast. And now I have 2 of them. So I'm gonna show another video comparing both of them. So make sure to follow and subscribe down below if you haven't yet already done so, because I'm gonna compare both cars in my next video. Because there's a lot of differences from 11 to 15 that you wouldn't really realize until you have 2 side to side. Can you believe I have 2? Side by side, that's incredible. These cars are so rare and hard to find, and I have 2 of them. I'm so pumped about this. All right, I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe down below. Have a great day, and adios.